Okay, I am going to review a handful of projects that were shared with me on Reddit. I offered to do live reviews with honest feedback and genuine reactions, and that's what I'm going to do. So there's a few, like I said, there's a few that I'm going to go through in this video. So let's jump right in. All right, here's the first product. See the bug, not the user. A bug reporting tool that records nothing until your customer hits the button. 90-second consent gated reports redacted in their browser sent only when they click send. Okay. I mean, I didn't know that this was an issue or a concern that people are sometimes sending, like websites or software sending bug reports prior to somebody clicking send. I don't know. I guess maybe this is like a privacy, I don't know, additional privacy layers on top of bug reporting. But all right, so far the landing page is really nice. It looks good. I like this graphic and animation that you have. Most of this product is what we refuse to ship. Session replay, vendors sell you on what they capture. We open with what we won't because the data you don't collect is the data you can't lose. The data you don't collect. Okay. So you're kind of explaining yourself here. It's like we're open, you're leaning into the fact that you're being more conservative or protective of data, however you want to describe it. So let's see. No always on capture. Okay, nothing records beacons or pings until your user clicks the trigger. Okay, no server side redaction. Sensitive patterns are masked in your customer's browser before upload. Cool. No AI training on your reports. No third party pixels. No HIPAA healthcare workloads. Not because we want healthcare customers. Okay, no admin access to your reports. Okay. Cool. You've got a different approach here to bug reporting. I assume this report a bug down here is using your tool. So let's see. Let me test this out. I guess I have to find a bug, right? The trigger bottom right of this page is a real click. I mean, does it work well for feedback also, or is it just intended for bugs? Let's see. I don't know. I'll just do a test. So let's see. Use page. What does that mean? Use page. I don't know what this use page button is. Okay, pen. So I can annotate right on top of the web page. That is super cool. I might like something for this. I might like something like this for the video reviews I'm doing. This is pretty cool. Arrow. Okay, I can draw an arrow. Change the color. Let's see. I can do a recording. Wants to use my microphone. Allow. Okay, I am doing a test bug report. This is not a real bug. I just kind of want to test out this functionality. I'm recording my voice. I did some annotations. I wonder if I just click done, if that will automatically stop and send. I won't test that. I'll just do stop. Okay, re-record, hide my data. I guess I can't play back my recording to see if it correctly captured my voice or not. That might be a nice feature to have. Um, what else? Okay, comment, test, comment here. I really like what you have here. This is cool. And then there's undo also. That's pretty nice. All right, done. So I noticed that some of the annotations I added, like that red circle around this element, is not showing up here in this recording. And I think it's awesome that you were able to capture this recording, because I don't recall giving the browser consent to like screen record. So somehow you've got a way to make what looks like a video recording. Inspect what's being sent. Okay, console, network, redactions, email, phone, pattern matches replaced in the preview render. Okay. So you're also redacting things in this recording. 114 redactions. That's interesting. What else can I look at here? Okay, screenshot. This kind of screenshotted the whole entire page, and it does have that circle annotation that was missing in the replay. This is really, really cool. So looks right. Next. What went wrong? This is just a test. Testing the system includes this stuff. Interesting that it says includes redacted. That could be a little confusing, right? Like it's including the information that was redacted. Is that including sensitive information, right? So I might not say includes redacted unless it is including that stuff. And let's see, I guess I could attach additional files here. Send report, uploading your report. Report sent, nice work. It's got an ID, team's been notified, review the redaction summary. Okay, try it on your own site for free. Super cool. So like the bug reporting system, I guess it can be used for feedback as well. Works really well. I like what you've put together. I would also, if I'm considering using this tool for my website or my team, my business, I want to get a sense of what the bug management features are, what the dashboard looks like. So it might be a good idea to let someone here on the landing page see that, get a sense of what that's like, perhaps even play with like a sample project and that has a bunch of bug reports, and let them poke around and kind of see what they get access to. Okay, 2 tags, no build step. All right, so it's like really easy to add to your web page with this snippet. Dormant until consent, no analytics. Replay video and audio never pass through our servers. Recording upload directly to Cloudflare. R2 via pre-signed URLs. Our backend never touches blob content. Okay. But you still know where it's stored and have access to it, right? Report metadata. Like technically, you could access that storage, I would think. Okay, report metadata, page URL, console logs, network entries sorted for your dashboard. Even our own admin panel can't pull a recording. All right. Let's see. I've got about 8.5 minutes on this one. This is awesome. You've done a super good job. Really well done. I am looking forward to seeing where you take this. And I'd love to do a deeper dive in the future. So let me know. All right. I'm going to go to the next one. Cool. Here is the next product in the list. Paw Trips. Your puppy deserves a holiday too. Finding pet-friendly places that actually welcome your dog or cat just got easier. Search real stays, read honest guides, plan the whole trip. Okay, cool. Yeah, I have a dog. And I mean, I have 3 young kids now, but I remember traveling with my dog, which we don't usually take him anywhere now. We go on trips with the family, and then we find a pet sitter. And that could be due in part to the fact that it's really challenging sometimes to travel with a dog or travel with a pet because there's a lot of places that just don't allow you to bring your pet. So I think this is a really interesting idea to help pet owners overcome that challenge and find places they can stay that are welcoming to pets. So this definitely makes sense as a pain point. Okay, get the free pet travel checklist. Cool. Find a stay, read the guides. Um, it's a little annoying that this keeps popping up. Like I already X'd out of it. Let's see if it pops up again. Okay, maybe just those two times. But even that, like even the first one felt weird. Like because it's just I'm trying to look at the landing page and then that just pops up. But I can kind of understand one, and the second one is just too much for sure. All right, so there's gear that we love. So some recommended gear. There's some guides to particular destinations. Let's see, find a stay. Okay, so it's specialized to Australia, um, and I didn't see that until now. I see you have here Australia's pet travel platform. I think that can be an advantage and a strength. The fact that you're narrowing down your scope to a specific area, because then you can specialize for Australia and specialize to that audience. So that's cool. I didn't realize it was Australia until I went to find a stay. So maybe it's something to mention more prominently. Yeah. So find a stay. I'm in the US. I don't really know these places, but let's see, Byron Bay, Dragon Tree House, book. Okay, so clicking on this, I don't think is doing what you want it to do. Um, like it just deep links me to this thing in the list, and then I can't even click other ones. Let's see if I go back to find a stay, and I click like Lark Rise. It didn't even do it for that one. Okay, I don't know what that was about. Let's see. So if I do book now, can I actually book this place? Okay, it jumps over to Stays, which I think is probably a different platform. So that's cool. You're integrating with other platforms somehow and finding ones that are pet friendly. Does it say it anywhere? Okay, so it says pet friendly here. Yes, I mean I would think a lot of these platforms for renting a place like Airbnb, um, Stays is one I'm not familiar with, but I imagine it's similar. A lot of them have like designations for when something is pet friendly. So I wonder, what are the benefits of using this system, Paw Trips, over just searching for places on Airbnb that are pet friendly or stays that are pet friendly? I guess one advantage potentially is that this is sourcing from multiple platforms. So maybe that's one advantage, but maybe there's more. Um, yeah, so that's one thing on my mind. Let's see, what else can I say? Two bed sleeps four. So yeah, like some of these have more information, like number of stars and beds and how many they sleep, and some don't. Okay, so cool. Let's see, what else can I look at? What else can I say here? The feed, travel gear, how to keep your dog and cat warm this Australian winter. Okay, so yeah, recommending specific products. You could jump to see them in Amazon. I think this would probably benefit from some images. It's just a lot of text and no product images. That could be helpful to have. Pet laws, dog and cat laws, Northern Territory. Okay. So you got some content here. Perhaps this is helping with SEO as well. I imagine our story. question I kept asking. Every time I try to plan a holiday, I hit the same wall, pets allowed, but what does that actually mean? Does the dog sleep inside or in a shed? Is there a fenced yard? I kept searching, I kept getting vague answers, and I kept thinking someone should build this properly. Okay, so this actually gave me a lot more clarity than I've had up to this point on what your approach is to solving this problem. Like, I don't think it was mentioned. It's not really mentioned on the landing page. Um, and it's like you're being much more clear about the specific pain point and problem here. And that starts to give me a sense of like more specifically what you're solving. I don't have the full picture yet. I think there's more you should say, and maybe you do go into that. But I'm kind of wondering, like, beyond just showing me stays that are pet friendly, is there an additional layer of like certification that you've done on these? And if so, like, it's just not clear at all. Like, you should definitely speak about that and make that very clear from the landing page. And I love that you're introducing yourself here. You know, that helps build up trust and credibility. I would say people feel like, hey, there's a real person here. There's a person who has a problem that is familiar with the problem I have. They have the same problem, and hey, I want to use their solution and see if they can solve it for me. So I would lean into this a lot more on your landing page, and I think that would help. Okay, cool. I'm going to move on. I hope this review was helpful. Thank you. All right, let's see. All right, here is the next product in the list, Core 48 AII. AI chat breaks as projects grow. Core 48 gives you a structured AI workspace so your projects stop collapsing into messy conversations. Built to work. Okay. So, I mean, I'm not this problem that you're stating doesn't totally resonate with me. Um, AI chat breaks as projects grow. I mean, maybe it's just because I'm using Replit. I'm using the Replit platform to build my projects, my software projects out now. Um, and maybe it's just because of the features that it has that I'm not hitting this problem. Maybe this is more something like if you're using Claude CLI or something, maybe this is an issue is that as your projects grow, AI chat breaks. I don't know. Okay, it gives you a structured AI workspace. Okay. Start my free trial, watch demo. Let's watch the demo. There's a video here. Let me watch this. Okay. There's like an AI generated voiceover. Okay, so it's starting with like explaining the setup process for how you set up like your workspace or your project. And for these demo videos, I think it's really good to lead with the value. Like, of course, there's going to be some setup, but that's no matter how easy your setup is, that's not going to be the thing that excites people to invest their time in this product and use it. You probably want to lead with what is the big problem you're solving for me? What is the value you're providing for me? And show specific examples of that. Help people see that, and that's what's going to get them excited to use this. And like the setup and instructions can come later. So that's my initial feedback here. Okay, what else can I look at? The problem isn't the AI, it's the interface. Chat gets messy, long threads, scattered ideas, nothing is reusable. You keep rewriting the same prompts over and over. You waste time, quality drops. Okay, the messy conversation, the Core 48 AII workflow, objective, define exactly what you want to achieve, set the structure, sections, and style, add key details, requirements, constraints, guardrails. Okay. Prepare your instructions once, use them anywhere. Build your system. Review before you run. So you're kind of explaining this workflow, this sort of guided workflow that you're driving users through, where they explain their objective, they explain their format. Um, it'd be cool to show some examples, like show me an example of a fully formed objective and format and all the inputs that someone puts in before it gets to the agent, and then an example of what comes out the other end that can help people wrap their head around kind of what this is and how it works. Um, mm, mm, mm. So let's see. Keep what works ready to reuse. Never rebuild a prompt again. So let's see this video. Okay, so it's explaining how it turns into these reusable parts. Okay. Yeah, I'm still like having trouble wrapping my head around it. I think what would go a long way is some sort of interactive demo, like a sample project or sample workspace that has a bunch of, you know, templates and objectives and et cetera in there, where you can just click around and sort of browse what the structure is like and see how you engage with that. I think that would be a really quick way to give people a sense of how this works and how they can use it. Yeah, and potentially more concrete examples of like specific workflows where you could really benefit from a tool like this to get a sense of how you would use it. Like very specific things, like here's what you're trying to achieve, here's the prompt that you might typically use, here's the problem where you would run into if you didn't have this solution, and here's how much better it is now that you have this solution. All right, so I've been on this one for about 5 minutes. I'm going to move on. I hope this is helpful for you. All right, here's the next product: file feedback. Get feedback that's actually useful. Upload videos, images, PDFs, and audio. Share a link. Clients leave precise timestamp comments. No account needed on their end. Start for free. See how it works. Okay. Let's see how it works. One place for your entire review workflow. From first draft to final approval, everything stays in one organized. One place for your entire review workflow. Okay, so I think this is a way to let people submit feedback on your website or your projects or something. They can upload videos, images, and other files as part of that feedback. Let's see. You embed it on a website. Is that how it works? One place for your entire review workflow. A home for every project, client, and revision. So it's saying clients, is this designed specifically for like software agencies or web agencies? If so, then maybe explicitly state that somewhere up above. A home for every project, client, and revision. Forget shared drives. Each project gets its own space with all versions, comments. Okay, so that's cool. If it's specialized for that use case, that's good. You could tailor it for that. So I think I'm understanding. Turn vague comments into clear task lists. Make it pop. Sit in an email thread. Convert comments directly into to-dos. Track them per version and close the loop on every piece of feedback. Okay. Precise feedback, right where it matters. Everything in the box. Upload videos. Timestamp comments. Cool. File feedback. Hi there, I'm File Feedback Assistant. Ask me anything about features. Okay. It'd be cool if like, because I just looked at a similar product in this same video actually. That one was for just reporting bugs, and this is different for sure, but there's similarities. One of the things that was nicely done on that project is that you can actually use the bug submission form right there in the website itself. So similarly, it would be nice if someone on the landing page could get a sense of what that feedback submission process is like right here. Like I can click a button and submit some feedback for this website and get a sense of what that client facing experience looks like. Um, and that'll help paint a picture in your head of like what type of assets you are going to receive, what type of feedback you're going to receive. Stop chasing feedback. Join studios that have replaced the email back and forth with one shared review link. Cool video review software. So you've got a bunch of different products listed here. Review files, get approval, ship faster. Okay, I don't know what this is. Industries. Okay, so you're across industries. Let's see, photographers. Share photo galleries, get precise client feedback. Okay. So you're kind of reusing your tool set and tailoring it for different industries, which is smart. Video review, design feedback, client approvals, PDF review, frame accurate video comments. Okay, compare to some alternative options. That's good. You got free tools here. You got a blog. What's the pricing? There's that weird loading issue. Do you see that? When I hop between these links, you see there's like an animation at the top left. It looks a little weird. I don't know what that's about. It looks broken, kind of. Okay, see how it works. Yep, I've seen this. I think it makes sense. I'm just thinking of ways that this can be a little bit more compelling for people to want to sign up. Let's see, start for free, free to start. All right, let me just do this. Already have an account? No. Okay, like Google sign in would be nice to have. All right. Okay, so I'm supposed to receive an email. I got it. Here's my code. There we go. Success. Create your workspace. All right. Next, select plan, free. Start my free trial. Okay. So that's easy enough. Yeah, I mean, from the landing page, I think something that could have been compelling is like a way to click around a sample workspace, get a feel for what that looks like, get a feel for how easy it is to use, kind of just, have someone help someone envision what it will be like once they're all set up with this tool and they're receiving feedback and all that stuff. Okay, install the app. Okay, so there's a Chrome extension. Personal, go to dashboard, get the most. Okay, so these are optional. Go to dashboard. Here we go. And so there's nothing here. Okay, so I'm going to stop here. I would love to take a deeper dive at some point, but I'm going to stop here for today. I hope this feedback was helpful to you.